Hello and welcome back to our weekly episodes of Love It or Shove It. And we are here in the studio. It's me, Irina Portnova, with my co-host Bruno Gill, and we have our guest, Dina Alexander. Hello, Dina.
Hi.
Thanks so much for coming. And as always, bringing these great topics to talk about and having so much fun. So today, Dina brought a very interesting topic, and I'm sure people who were watching the post that was created, they probably were waiting impatiently. And the topic is dominance and submission. Dina,
Yes.
tell first of all, tell because not everybody watch every time the episodes, and as you are our frequent guest, but there are a lot of new viewers. Tell a little bit about yourself, like why are you even talking on this topic?
I love it. I love how you Okay. As you know, my name is Dina. I am a personal relationship and a sex coach since 6 years ago. I live on the island of Aruba. It's a Dutch island. We speak 4 languages. I do believe it makes me happy when I teach. I've been teaching spirituality more than 26 years ago. For me, it's a lifestyle. I believe in love, the real love, not the the partner's love, mother's love, sister's love. No, I don't believe in those. I believe in the true love, and you need to cultivate it. It will not happen all of a sudden. Why I started this, I think sex is the lubricant of life.
I love this.
I think
That's
sex
awesome.
is the lubrication of life. My coach is Stephanie Yelverton. I'm very grateful for her knowledge provided to me, and I took her quote with me. I think sex is lubrication of life, because if you shut your eyes and you remember the day that you got the real good sex, imagine if everybody had that day. There will not be any wars, no power struggling. Everybody will be happy. Aha! Bruno, you are with me. So that's my motto.
Yeah, that's true. And it's, like this is something that, comes naturally and free, right? Although, like a lot of people might complain that they don't have enough money and other material things, but sex and love is something that can be genuinely given to others.
Yes. So our topic today. So do you want to say something, Bruno? Because you were so silent.
Sorry. Need to speak a little bit louder.
I said, do you want to say something? Because you were silent.
I was listening. I'm observing.
Okay.
I'm taking a lot of insights here. Okay, taking a
Okay.
lot of insights. But I have a question though.
But I
Right.
didn't even start as yet. But you may
No,
say your
you
question.
can start, but I'll ask my question after. I have a lot of questions.
Okay, but start with your question. Tell me what your question. Maybe that's a good starter.
Okay, so I'm a natural dominant person. I like to dominate a lot. Okay, like I'm a natural dominant. I'm like talking about hair pulling, hair grabbing. You talk about everything, but like not like painful stuff. Like just I'm naturally dominant. I'm very touchy. I'm a very palpable person. Because that's the way I show my passion. But for instance, when should a guy be more submissive than dominant?
The last part I didn't hear it so good.
Yeah.
The last
So-
sentence.
Yeah. So, how can a guy become more submissive during
Okay,
certain
got it.
parts, being naturally dominant?
I got you. So because we are so synchronized, before we started, I told you guys I wanted to add some toys to this session. So
Visual.
uh-huh. So it's in dominance and submission, that scenario, as a dominator, you need to know that you are not in charge, really. You are in charge of keeping the submissive person in good spiritual health, physical health, mental health. That's you are in charge of that. So the one in charge is the submissive one. That's how I teach it. Why? Because the dominator wants to clap, hit, but you need to do it with yourself first, on your product or whatever. You need to do it first on yourself for you to get to know your strengths, for example. And you need to get yourself educated, because the liver, where the liver is, you're not supposed to slap there. You can harm your submissive partner. Okay, so I do teach people on this being dominator. It's good to have agreements. There are online agreements for dominator and submission couples, and it's good to go through them. And yeah, you are going to giggle, you're going to laugh, but it's very important for the dominator to know what the submissive has a little bit problem with, because not all submissive people, it could be a guy or a girl. When you are submissive, it doesn't mean that you are weak or you're afraid. That's a trauma. That's a problem. As a submissive person, you need to speak up. You need to tell everybody what you want. And for a guy that is dominator to answer your question, I tell the guy, maybe you should be the one receiving sometimes, instead of the one giving. Begging, for example, it's a very beautiful act, and it's very powerful for the submissive person. I recommend these harnesses. I do recommend them. I sell them. It's on www.enticeme.com. And I tell the lady, put on one and be the giver instead of the receiver. And then you can feel the power. It's an entire different look out, because usually you are on your back. You are on your hands and knees. But this time, the person is on its back or on his hands and knees. And you are giving. You need to take care of that person. As a dominator, as the one dominating, no one has ever, not usually they take care of you. You take care of them. It's different when someone takes care of you. And you need to try it often. Then you feel it. Then you see, hey, I want to do this now. I want to be submissive now. I want to be dominator now. Then you can juggle. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. You know, I loved what you told. I love what you talked about, which is like the balance, right?
Yeah.
Even when you're on your dominant side, you need to be. I love that, because it's true. Like, you gotta have balance between how dominating you are, because whatever it is in life, it's like there's times to be one thing and then there's times to be another. But that doesn't mean that you are changing personalities or you're changing the way you are on both ways. No, you're being the same way that you are. You're just paying more attention to certain things that you do. In certain things you are more intense, in others you're not. In certain things you're more aggressive, and in others you're not. In certain things you're more peaceful, in others you're not. Right? It's it's like, I feel like it's all about like adjusting to the situation.
Yes, I love it. Irina, you're so quiet.
Yes. So what comes for me is, first of all, I love that, right? Because you want to try on different roles. So this way you see, first of all, what really excites you more, right? Which role. And second of all is also, like you mentioned, like be in both positions, so you understand maybe, like how to be dominant or how to be better submissive, right? And like Bruno mentioned, it's all about balance, and I think it's also about the dynamics, right? So you want to feel that power in love, and it allows the partners to really get to know each other better and to be more authentic with each other. Because what comes for me, the ultimate goal is to like really express yourself to the fullest, right? Like really connect with your true self, because there are a lot of couples who are actually hiding their desires from each other because they do not feel comfortable to share that, because of the judgment, of the blame, of the guilt, and all other lower emotions, right? So the idea is like really to explore and see if this is your cup of tea.
I like it what you just said. The hiding part. I like to share stories, and this is happening right at this moment with a client of mine, a client, because I only see the lady. I've never seen her husband, and I've never seen her friend. So this lady came in and she had a real problem. She came in with a real problem in her head. She came in because she has a husband totally against pegging, not allowed anal sex with him. Only he can do that with her. But she wanted that. She wanted to explore that part. So she got a friend, a lover. So the friend, they are having good times because he is providing that to her, that experience. So when she came to me and she told me, look, this is what I'm doing. And I told her, look, the only thing that I would do differently is talk about it with your husband. If you need a third person, I can facilitate that to make that more, make him aware that it has nothing to do with your being with him. It has to do with a fantasy that you have, that a friend is providing it, and the friend has no intention to break your relationship. It's only an experience he is providing, and it's a very powerful one. Yeah, that's a story that I wanted to share. Another thing that I wanted to share, because dominance and submission, as a dominator, you need to, as I already said, you need to experience all what you want to do before you do the act with your submissive person. It's because then you can explore more. For example, a simple place something on your eyes. You need to do it yourself first, because then you can listen what the person that you are shutting their eyes, they are listening. What enhances that feeling in you, that get you more into the mood. Use it before you do it with another. I know a lot of dominators have never placed such a thing on their eyes. Have you had something like this on your eyes, Bruno? Ever?
No, I never really reached that level. I only really had a sexual experience with one woman and one woman only. So I had sex multiple times, but only with one woman. I don't go around have meaningless sex. I'm not, no, I don't. I don't treat my body like that. But yeah, but we never really got to that stage. So
Yeah, this can be used with one woman also, only one woman. I'm just asking if you have ever had this. It's good for you to experience what the other person will experience. The same. These are nipple clamps. These are nipple clamps. experience them first, then place them on another. These are very, everybody needs a box of the toys. We all, when we were young, we had boxes of toys, didn't we? You had one, Irina, you had one, Bruno.
Yeah, different toys though.
But nowadays, do you have a box of toys?
No, I don't.
And Bruno,
No.
do you have a box of toys? That's the first thing I tell everybody when they come into my
Well,
office.
No, but look. Obviously, we're not talking about the same type of toys here. Obviously, the toys that I'm not gonna shove, the my action man, right, toys or my bridges or anything up my ass. First, nothing is gonna come up my ass. Number one, right? That's a rule I have with myself, is that nothing is coming up my ass. And but that's me though. That's me, right? That's me. Not even the little head of the toy. That's no head.
That's good. That's good. And I'm not here to try to change your mind. No, that's very important. And I tell every woman, if you want to experience that, don't you dare try to change his mind, but you can try to get to an understanding that it's something that you want to experience, and I want to look for a friend to do that. It's either a lady friend or a male friend. It's something that you want to experience, being a giver. But going back to Bruno, no, I'm not talking about a toy box of children. And it's with your age. Now an adult toy box I'm talking about. Do you have one?
For big girls and big boys.
It's very important. It's very important to have that box. You know why? Because then you giggle. And the giggle, then you get serotonin from that giggling.
Mhm.
And from that room. That room is for giggle room. You need to make use of what your body can make. That giggling produces serotonin, and it's healthy.
Mhm.
And good orgasms, you get oxytocin. That's a happy hormone. So going back, for me as a dominator, you need to know a lot about toys to put in your scenario, and you need to have your script written beforehand, not during your play. You need to have a plan, not written out, all written out, no. But you need to have, for example, I need a blindfold now, and I need a paddle for today, for today's play with my playmate, for example. Yeah, and that you'll get out of your play box for your. And I'm totally with you. If you have a play box, a toy for adult, a box, a play box for adult, don't use it on every man or lady that you have over, because that's not hygienic. Okay, I don't promote that. That's just filthy. That's bacteria, and you're going to get caught. For me, it's very important having a healthy intimacy. So what I like about this box also, it has a lot of cards, and you can take one, and then it will tell you what you will do that evening. So I took one card. I'm going to read it.
Yes.
Tonight, you are the submissive, and she is the dominatrix. Race to her closet and pick out the kinkiest outfit you can find. The more leather you can find for her, the better. I like the face of Bruno. Now find a ski cap, hat, or hood. While she is getting changed, you are getting naked. Kneel before her with cap in hand. She should have the whip. I don't have a whip. Hey, I have a whip. Yeah. She should have the whip. Beg her to punish you so that she can offer you light lashes with the whip of on your back. Then lean forward so she can whip your bottom. She should continue whipping you until you beg for mercy. At any point, she can command you to cover your head while with the hood. Only cover your eyes though, so you can still breathe. So it's very important for as a couple, if you're going to experience this dominance and submissive journey, you need stop words. And usually they use light and green, red and green as the traffic lights. Yes or no. If you have a gag or if you have something on your mouth, then you can or clap. You need to arrange that beforehand. That's why I do recommend going through an agreement. Then you both know each other before you start this journey. You don't need to sit with agreement every act. One time is enough. But it's good for you to go through it if you want to start this journey. So I spoke a lot. So it's time for me to listen what came up.
Okay, can I say something? As you were talking, some downloads showed up for me. So as being a manifestation coach, right? I draw the parallels, like how can this be implemented into the manifestation process? So when you were talking about, play game, right? And that's exactly what we are teaching clients, like be in that childlike energy, right? Because that energy is very playful, that energy is very creative. So when we are doing something like that, we become more creative, we become more innovative, and we are actually learning how to solve the problems. Because look at this, you're picking up the card and you're just reading the instructions, and then you're just like imagining, visualizing how everything is going to play out from what you're reading to become like a real thing, right? So you are developing your imagination faculty, you are developing your visualization, your problem solving skills, your innovation, your creativity, and all of this in combination is gonna increase your and supercharge your manifesting powers. So that's exactly what I came out of this.
Yes, I love it. That's how I present it also. This dominance and submissive act is a therapeutic also, because it's healing. It's healing, and you can get whatever you want. You can use that energy for whatever you want. Yes, totally with you. Bruno, what came up?
Well, I was thinking about role play, foreplay, right? So, like, I have a lot of like I'm a very sexual, diverse person, you know. There's something about like, it's like, when something like is really cute, you just want to squeeze it. I feel like there's some chemicals in your brain that are actually triggered. That's why that happens, you know. You just want to squeeze because of the amount of pleasure that it's giving you, you know. And so, yeah, it's like that idea of like, yeah, to me what was coming was like a lot of role play into my head. And like I said, like I'm a very like sexually diverse person. So like I can honestly, like, I like a lot of things. So it's one of those things where like diversity is important because you're never bored. That's for sure. Like you'll never be bored when you're diverse because there's always something new to try. You know,
Yeah, you'll never be bored.
there's always something new to do. You know, and I feel like that's like very important. And like the more you trust the person, the better. It's like if you want to be happy in a relationship where people are not willing to adapt to what you like, then forget about it. Like it's never going to work because the person has to at least be trying her best or his best, at least. And when you look at somebody and you're like, you could do so much better, and like, no, I'm doing my best, and the person is lying because the person is not even willing to admit it. It's like, yeah, forget about it. It's like it's not going to work. Like I'm very much like that. It's like I'm not gonna like a lot of people, they're like, it's fine, like the person will fight for me. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna fight for you if you don't deserve that. I'm not gonna fight for you if you don't fight for yourself. You know, I figure that a lot of my dominance always comes from that. It's not so much about, you know, me wanting to dominate in a relationship or the other person. It's like I dominate myself. You know, it's like, and because I'm not insecure of losing people, right? I'm not insecure of anything with the other person, right? I am much more able to fully live the passion and, you know, make the person feel my intensity, because, you know, I own myself. I own myself at all levels. I believe so. And obviously, there's always work to do. But for a relationship to work, and especially when it comes to, you know, the sexual relationship, it's very important that a person owns herself. Um, and that's something that really made me like very well magnetic. Is no matter how dominant or submissive you are, never forget that like you're there to give the experience you want to the other person, right? Um, and the person is willing to do the same thing. I had a woman, for instance. Now, you know, it's like out of all, you know, like out of all the pornography that I've seen in my life, and out of all the whatever, which is fake, by the way, it's fake. It's super fake. It's their acting. It's not real, right? I had a woman the woman that I was with, because she knew how much I tried, how hard I was, you know, putting effort into it. She was also putting that effort into me, to a point where like she was, you know, like it's almost like she was trying to impress me, so I would come back. You know, I wasn't doing that for that. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the main reason, right? But she was reciprocating. She was mirroring my efforts. And I feel like, you know, whether you're in a relationship or you have like a little pact or your sex friends or whatever, that's very important, you know, how much you mirror your partner. And they really like don't be afraid of being like, no, I deserve this and I want this and I want that, because that's important. Okay.
That's very important.
That's very important. Yeah.
Yes.
So
So what comes up while Bruno was talking? A lot of
Okay. Can I share the facts? I was just like searching for statistics. So they said that based according to 2000 study published in the Journal of Sex Research, about 47% of women and 60% of men reported fantasies involving dominance and submission. So it's a pretty good, percentage of people who are like really interesting. And the thing is that, you know, like we were talking about, it's all about just, you know, authenticity and be honest and vulnerable with your partner to express your wants and desires. So this way you can experience them together. And what really comes for me, Dina, let's talk about the benefits, because a lot of people might think about it like, you know what, I don't need this in my sex life. Like, why would this be beneficial?
I was going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I do think what happens in bed happens in boardroom.
Sorry, what happens in bed happens where?
Boardroom.
At your boardroom.
At your boardroom.
In your company,
Yes, meaning in the corporate meetings and everything else.
Corporate meetings, yes.
Oh, like okay, in the corporate, like in your meetings, reunions. Yes.
It's a mirror. So,
Yes.
for example, women, you're only submissive. You're a doll laying there all the time. You can never handle a leader position.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never be creative. I think, first of all, you need to get to know yourself as a woman. I think women, because men usually don't have. They have a couple of them do have this problem of this situation, but not all. A lot of women are in this position. And I use the bed to help them out. Get to know yourself, get to know your fetish. A lot of people don't know their fetishes. They don't know what fetish means, what is beneficial. It will help you to grow that part of you that's needed. I will take pegging, for example, because I have a client recently that is into this. This opened up a world for the lady. She is a top position in a company. This opened a world, that friend, because she had to take care of him. She was the giver. She was the one. She got a whole another perspective in bed. Okay, so it's therapeutic. They say when you slap someone, it releases endorphins, and there are some red rooms, dungeons that use this as a therapeutic mean for traumas. It's a way to manifest because you are giggling, you are igniting that energy, that creative, spiritual, and energy. So I think it's very, very beneficial. I am, for example, I take myself. I'll talk about myself now. I am not a dominator. I am not submissive. I am into tantric lifestyle, tantric sex. So you need to know your fetish. I help my clients because I've educated myself in this, and it's needed. But myself, it's not my thing. I did have a partner that was into dominatrix, and I enjoyed it. But he knew that I needed that tantric side also, that soft sex, that part, that juicy, deeper one, or spiritual one. So we made time for both. So you need to do that, because not all partners have the same fetishes. You need to be very aware that even if you don't like it, maybe you should see a way how you can come to peace and let your partner enjoy what his or her fetish is. That's why I think I give a tip of the week every week. This week, coming week, I'm going to talk about pegging, because I think a lot of men do think that by having a prostate massage, it will ignite that gay side of you, and it's not the truth, because it's not the truth. It's just massaging the prostate, and it's delicious. So that's not it does, scientifically, it's not happening. If you are gay, it will happen without massaging the prostate.
You know how I massage my prostate?
Yes, you can. There is different types of way you can massage it, internally or externally. Yes.
Yes, but
Please
you know
do
how
share.
you know how I maintain my prostate healthy. Let's say
Share.
I jerk off
Perfect.
because it's very important.
Yes.
And like in the beginning, like we had a laugh about it when you said like, oh, if people had more sex, there will be no more divorce and everything, right? But the reality is that it's true. If people jerked a little bit more off, right, and they release that sexual tension, they'd be more relaxed, right? They wouldn't be beeping at other people like move. Like they wouldn't be wasting time with other stuff. They wouldn't be all like all like so anxious and stuff. Like, just go jerk yourself off, go for a run, go listen to some music, go dance a bit, go write something, go do something, right? Whether if it is cheap dopamine or it's delayed gratification. I do not advise cheap dopamine, although I just kind of did. I can advise it, but I will not advise it more than delayed gratification, right? You want to take your attention out? Take your attention out. Go do something that gives you the confidence to wake up another day, right, and live your life to the fullest. Something that makes you feel good, right? Something that will make you feel good, make you be good, right, on the long term. But from time to time, what is wrong with like having some, like some, I wouldn't say some cheap dopamine, but something that comes quick, right? There's nothing wrong with that as long as you control it, right?
Yes, no,
But
I totally agree with you.
yeah.
I totally agree with you.
And there's ways to maintain like the prostate or the liver or the pancreas or whatever it is, right? Like healthy. But in this case, the prostate, the sexual organs, right? Is the prostate considered a sexual organ?
Not really. It has its
Not
function.
really, right?
No,
Not
it has
really,
its function, but you can get an orgasm with the prostate. Before we go, I would like to add why I do. I will make my tip of the week on the prostate of men, because the men usually when they or get their orgasm, it's penile and it's one time. But women, we can get multiple orgasms, and a man also by massaging the prostate. And that's a feeling that the majority of men haven't explored. So if you're listening to me and it clicks, get some information, get in contact with me, and you'll do it, and it's an experience extra. It's not going to make you gay.
Awesome. You know what, Dina, and I also wanted to share a couple of more benefits, right? So just to understand, like, why do we even touch this topic? One of the benefits, it's also to increase our intuition, especially when you were talking about the blind thing, right? To cover the eyes. Just think about it, because it's gonna make you feel more like, why do we do that? It's just to heighten the senses, our senses, right? And the idea is the more you tune into your body, the more you can sense your body, the more intuitive you become, right? So you really know what each part of your body talks about whenever that there is a pain or pleasure or anything in that direction. Also, another benefit is the empowerment, right? And it goes for both sides. For the dominance, it's the empowerment comes from taking over the control and also making the decisions. And for submissive person, as empowerment comes to trusting their partner and surrender. So those are like great benefits, right? And obviously we are talking about the growth, right? Personal growth, because it's all about creativity, innovations, and new experiences. Because remember, we are in charge the way we feel and the way we want our intimacy or any other relationships go, right? Yeah. So when we really tune into that and we start working, right? Because everything involves some work, right? But we can make it fun. And it's all about like making fun and make it exciting, and that's the beauty of this life. That's what I wanted to add.
Perfect. Bruno, you have something before we go?
Well, I just wanted to say that, like, unfortunately, like, we need a part 2, because there's more, there's here more to really explore.
So we can do part 2.
There's always way
and
more
maybe take some comments, like if people are gonna be willing to express what they want to hear or want to learn, right?
Mm-hmm. Right, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, on that note, let us wrap up, and we'll see you on the next episode. Dina, as always, it was a pleasure to have you as our guest. Come back anytime with more spicy topics, because this is not something everybody hears every day, and we want to explore and to learn and to grow, right? Because we want to evolve, and that's the whole purpose of life. Everybody have a beautiful day, and comment, don't be shy, and tell us about your experience or your fears, concerns. All right, till next time, have a good one.